Monsters created in mythology have existed before the written word. People have always been afraid of bumps in the night and spooky ghost stories, and in this day and age of the internet, this hasn't changed at all. Now, the popularity of these stories depends on whether or not they go viral. It's wild to think that a creature like Slenderman can be upvoted into the Urban Legend Hall of Fame. One of the newest additions is Sirenhead, but what are some of the classic mythical beasts that already have him beat? Hello again, Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Chaydarena, and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. Today we're going to be counting down the kingpins of the bestiary with our list of top 10 monsters scarier than Sirenhead. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell, and stick around until the end of this list because I'm going to be answering some questions from my Instagram inbox. If you want me to answer your question, you can hit me up through the gram. Without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have Dracula. Let's kick off this list with one of the OGs of the monster world. Dracula has been making people cower in fear before Sirenhead was even in the galactic thought pool. As you know, Dracula is the original vampire. Some say he is the son of the devil himself, and other people say he is actually the devil. He's got a wide range of powers, from turning people into vampires, super strength, powers of seduction, flight, shapeshifting, a master of hand-to-hand combat, possibly unkillable and immortal, and the list goes on and on. This dude is also a master of many sciences, and in more than one representation is a leader of a dark army. I mean, if we go into the Castlevania version of the Dark Lord, he is so powerful he can make it rain demons from the sky. While Sirenhead is creepy, able to blend in and sneak up on people and consume them, I don't think he would stand a chance against one of the archetypes of horror. Next on the list we have the Xenomorph. Now, Sirenhead might be way bigger than the Xenomorph, but the Xenomorph is 10 times scarier. For one, Sirenhead will only hang out in secluded areas or suburban areas. The Xenomorph will hunt you down and rip out your entrails like a cougar on Ritalin and steroids. Not to mention, its blood is acid, and it has a secondary mouth inside its first mouth that can shoot out and bite your face off. On top of that, all of its blood is acid. I know I already said that, but it's still crazy. And if it kills you with its demonic claws or tail or probably whatever it's got going on, that is the best outcome that can happen. It's better than having a facehugger latch onto your skull and it pukes a baby down into your stomach and then it later pops out of your chest like the worst zit you've ever had. Next on the list we have the RANCOR. Even though his appearance in Return of the Jedi is pretty weak and he doesn't really do anything except for have a massive growl and then die on the ground like some sort of roadkill, he's still a terrifying creature from the pits of Jabba the Hutt's palace. Really, what freaks me out about the RANCOR is that it has this snarling, drooling face. Like, I just think about that goo from its mouth pouring down on top of me before it picks me up and then pops me into its mouth and pops my head with its massive jaws like my brain's just a grape or something like that. And really, anyone normal would quickly be destroyed by the RANCOR in seconds if you were put in the same situation as Luke Skywalker. But luckily, Luke is one of the most powerful Jedi of all time, and he was able to deal with the big baddie even faster than any of us ever would. But if it was Sirenhead in there, that thing would be dead in seconds. Next, we have VENOM Rex. Now, this one is exactly what it sounds like. It's one of the most badass and terrifying things ever to come out of the Marvel Universe. While VENOM Rex isn't terrifying in the way that Galactus is, he is still something that will make anyone poop their pants. For those of you who don't know, VENOM Rex is when the famous symbiote from the Marvel Universe worked its way onto a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and as you can imagine, as soon as that thing was created, chaos followed it like a plague. Mind you, even though I think VENOM Rex would be way scarier of a monster to see than Sirenhead, I don't think VENOM Rex would be a good matchup, because as Marvel fans know, loud high-pitched noises do a lot of damage to the symbiote. All Sirenhead would have to do is let out a yell and Venom would be running. Then it's just the T-Rex who's left there all by himself, and it's up to him to make up his mind whether or not he wants to fight this mythical beast in front of him. After that, we have the Predator. You mean that beast that is hyper intelligent, has advanced tech that rivals everything we have on planet Earth, has the ability to camouflage, see in various signatures, has a lust for blood, hunts intelligent life for sport, and has zero qualms about ripping your spine out of your body while you're still alive. Yeah, that's the thing I do not want to come face to face with anytime soon. The Predator has probably killed its fair share of Sirenheads just for the fun of it. The last thing you want is the Predator to put a marker on you, because once you're his chosen target, you better hope his gear's malfunctioning or that he's a fat predator who can't move fast or something, because that dude will come after you fast as hell. Next on the list we have the Kraken. Once again, one of the all-time greats of the monster universe. This is the beast below that is so big, no ship or weapon has been able to take him out. There has been a lot of different representations of this beast throughout the years, but in all of them it is absolutely massive. The Kraken is big enough to swallow an entire ship in one single gulp. It has tentacles so long they could cover a country. The suckers on those tentacles are so strong they can peel the skin off your body with ease. Not to mention this beast is almost unkillable in some tellings of this story. It was a beast so powerful that some of the gods of Olympus were scared of it. I think being able to strike fear into the hearts of gods is a pretty good way to be scarier than Sirenhead. Next on the list we have The Thing, one of the most terrifying horror movie monsters that has ever been created. Simultaneously a virus, a sickness, a living weapon, a shapeshifter, extremely hard to kill, hyper intelligent, and aware of interstellar travel, and has the ability to transform into a monster dripping with drool that can kill and absorb everything in sight. Could you imagine what that movie would look like if it got loose in a major metropolitan area? It would be like that episode of Rick and Morty where everyone turns into those disgusting Cronenberg monsters. On the bright side, if you become part of the massive hive mind, you don't need to worry about making decisions anymore. That's some weight off your shoulders. Next on the list we have Godzilla. He has been called the king of all monsters. This guy is the big daddy. He's been working the kaiju game before any other giant monster. He would take on everyone on this list, and there's a good chance he would put up a pretty solid fight and beat most of the people on this list. But if we're really looking at monsters that are scarier than Sirenhead, you have to put this big guy right on here. I mean, I know that Godzilla is technically a good guy that protects the planet from everything that is trying to invade, but that doesn't mean that he isn't absolutely terrifying. He's bigger than any building. He cannot be killed by any sort of conventional weapons. He sends a giant blast of blue fire out of his face like a Kamehameha. This guy is the real deal and will bring down entire cities in his fights with other massive monsters. Not to mention, he can occasionally team up with other massive monsters to make himself even more powerful and bring down the hammer. Coming in at the number 2 spot we have CTHULHU. I mean, this guy is basically a god and has been alive longer than some of the stars. He is not only a massive beast with a squid for a head, huge wings, a lumbering walk that can send buildings tumbling to the ground just from the vibrations, but he also has a ton of strange cosmic powers that make him deadly and extremely terrifying. This dude can fly, he is immortal, and can only be killed by a godlike being. He can communicate with an entire planet of beings by only using his mind. He has the power to materialize cities out of nothing, and on top of all that, this guy has some major bird box powers. If you even look at him, you go insane. So yeah, a meat-covered telephone pole might be kinda scary, especially when it's trying to kill you, but it doesn't come anywhere close to the fear that can be put into your heart by the Elder God, aka Cthulhu. And coming in at the number 1 spot we have Satan. I mean, if we're gonna put together a list of some of the scariest monsters of all time, I'm really gonna have to go all in. I mean, you can't really get much creepier than Satan. He is the Prince of Darkness, the creator of sin and evil. Everything bad that has ever happened to you, you can blame on this dude. You stub your toe, that was him, dude. Satan's powers might actually be limitless. Outside of being the king of hell and having control of an entire underworld, he can pretty much do everything, and he has been around since the dawn of time. You're not going to trick this dude. You're not going to overpower this dude. You might beat him in a musical competition, but that's only if you're really good at the fiddle. That's pretty much the only way you're gonna be able to pull a fast one over this dude. If I had a choice of running into Sirenhead or running into the devil himself, I think I would take Sirenhead every single time, because at least if I get killed by a 40-foot tall megaphone, there's a chance that I still go to heaven after. If the devil kills you, there's zero chance that you're going anywhere other than a lake of lava. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Now I'm gonna answer some questions. Samantha Keen wrote in and asked, what's your favorite side order at a restaurant? This is a great question. It really depends on how I'm feeling that day. If it's a healthy day, well, you know I gotta get that garden salad with some organic olive oil for dressing. No question about that. But if I'm on a cheat day, let's pull in some onion rings. And if I'm going even deeper, I'll upgrade to a poutine or some mozzarella sticks. Jeff Davis wrote in and asked, what's your favorite season? I gotta go with summer every single time. Summertime is the best. Everyone is going outside, everyone's enjoying the weather, everyone is getting super hot, everyone's loving patios. My dream is to move somewhere that has amazing warm weather all the time. And finally, Tim Selvin wrote and asked, do you like any sports? I do like sports. I'm a big fan of the UFC. There was some decent fights over the weekend, and I'm hyped for the Israel fight that is coming up next weekend. Him and Paulo Costa should have an insane battle. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Jade Arena, and watch out for those scary monsters. I mean, this guy is basically a god and has been alive longer. Bleh. Now Sirenhead might be way bigger than the XENOMORPH. Now Sirenhead might be I think this is 2. Can we scroll down a little bit to the okay, no, we're 3. We're 3. Okay, scroll up.